Hey y'all, can you believe we're already on episode 4, conversation 4? And if you're not clear where you're at, candid conversations with Shy. Today we are going to be talking about sisterhood, current events, and a lot of other stuff because life been lifing, right? For everybody. So grab your favorite snack, get comfortable, tag a friend, get ready to comment, ask questions, give your feedback because this is Candid Conversations with Shy. Yes, it's your girl Shy. Welcome to Candid Conversations, where we talk about God, life, and all that other stuff in between. If you have not realized it, I'm your host, your girl Shy. So, like I said, when you get on, please share with me where you are watching from. Again, anything that I talk about, please talk back to me, put it in the comments so we can have a conversation, a dialogue with one another. So, welcome to Candid Conversations. This is a safe space for women to have real conversations about everyday life, for support, sisterhood, to get resources, to just sometimes we just need to think about some stuff because sometimes we're so far removed because that may not be our situation that we forget that others are impacted in a way that we are not. So, Candid Conversations is here for you. And as I said, today we are going to be talking about sisterhood along with some current events. I'm going to tell y'all about something new that I tried this week, and I hope you've been doing that too. And if you haven't, you can always start. You can always start. And again, please share with me where you are watching from. I would love to see where you are watching from and something new. Let's talk about something new that I did this week. It's actually something that I tried. And I tried it because I kept seeing everybody, meaning a lot of people, uh, buy these drinks, drink these drinks. And I'm like, let me try it. And also, what made me want to try it, because to know me is to know I love all things cinnamon and caramel. I pronounce it caramel, some caramel. And so also seeing this, it made me want to try. All right, Delaware in the house. If you don't know, I'm in Southern Cali. I'm in Southern Cali. So I'm gonna show you what I tried, my new thing for this week. But I let me just explain a little bit more. Candid conversations. I'm gonna give you the whole spill right here. This allows us to be truthful and straightforward, for us to have those truthful and straightforward conversations about various areas of our lives without judgment. It's here to educate, ignite change, cause growth, and activate healing within women. My desire is for us to be educated, aware, and empowered to live life being unapologetically ourselves. Oftentimes, we lose our voice and feel as though we have to push away our softness to become hard and heard. With candid conversations, you never have to change who you are to learn or share what's on your heart. Let's get into it. What I tried this week, this this product. I'm trying to y'all see that? I've been seeing what I will call everybody and their mama try this, and I'm like, well, let me try it. I'm doing better, taking care of this temple that God gave me. So I got some. And let me say this. Um it was okay. It was okay. I said it probably would taste really, really great inside of a smoothie with other things. Not necessarily fruit because it's caramel flavored, but it does have like a little aftertaste. So if you don't know, for me, trying new things, that is huge. So if I had to rate this from 1 to 10, It wasn't that bad. So I'll give it like a 6.5. So if you've tried that, let me know. I'm gonna try the chocolate next because I feel like it just may taste good. But let's get into these current events. Let me just say this week, just doing life, things kept happening. And I'm like, before you can even catch your breath, like so many major things were happening, even as recent as before today. Like so many things were happening. The first thing that's on the top of my mind, I watched this video. It looks as though this lady was doing a high speed chase in the car locked up. Crowd is around. People are telling her, run, run, run. I guess nobody realizes she has a baby in the car, or her kid in the car, I should say. Wasn't a baby, but her kid in the car. This lady hops off the car and yells out, get my kid. And she takes off running. You can hear the cops and everything. Now everybody is like, oh my gosh, she left her kid. No, 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 come back. And the next part of the video, it shows the cops, getting the kid and things like that. Um, too much, too often are we talking about school shootings. Um, the party, the birthday party that got shot up. The last I read, it was 4 that had passed and 30 in the hospital. A Sweet 16 birthday party that went all the way wrong. And, you know, has there been some exciting stuff? Yes. Yes, there has. I'm going to plug in some exciting stuff. I really appreciate Black China sharing her transformation with us from her previous lifestyle and getting more into her current lifestyle. It's a beautiful thing. But what I really noticed is it almost seemed like the same people that was bashing her for what she was doing and her being in the headlines are those same people that are now saying, "Oh, I'm so happy for you, good luck," and da 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 da. Which brings me to, we never really know where we're going to end up in life. So you got all these current events. Yes, these school shootings give me anxiety when my grand's in school. I have to have a different conversation with my daughter, who is a third grader, and just heavy on the prayer, heavy on the education piece. If this happens, and it's to the point like she's getting a cell phone. um, you know, uh, the school do the best they can to make sure, but depending on also where you are located at, things are different. I've been to schools where you cannot access um, the like office secretary and things like that because they're behind glass. You know, um, I've been to schools where you're not getting in unless you're buzzed in and different things are verified. And then there are schools, because of the neighborhood, it's more safe and all of those things. You can just walk right on in and gain access to the school and admin and those different things. So it is definitely a different time that we are living in. And if you're a believer like myself, we know time is winding down. The Bible has been fulfilled since we all have been birthed, and it's just getting more and more clear and clear of what's going on and what you need to do. And even if when you don't know what to do, just to prepare yourself the best way that you can, and your loved ones. So many things. And yes, and that's why we have to have these conversations, because not everybody has an outlet. Not everyone has a support. Not everyone has the ability to share what's really on their heart and people receive it and hear them and all the different things. And so with this, because of some topics coming up, we're going to be just talking about being a woman, and what that looks like in motherhood and guardians and just all those different things. So like I said, there are some great things to talk about. I mentioned Black China's transformation. And I've actually witnessed a lot of people like changing their lives and giving their lives to God, and um, you know, just doing life at a higher level, I'm going to say. Because here's the thing, even with our experiences, as bad as they may be, as much as people may have not agreed with them, it's still part of us and it helps shape us in some type of way. And so I often say every bad thing that happened, every bad experience, every bad thing that I did, ultimately there was good in that because it worked out for my good. I can go back and share and help others in those different things. And so, one, don't judge nobody, because like I said, you never know where you're going to end up in life. Life happens at the blink of an eye. People are here and then they're gone. Somebody is your friend, next moment they're not. You're doing great and then you are not. So don't judge anybody. If anything, do your best to love on people and or just mind your business. But it's always good to say a prayer for people, because we don't know. We only know what we see or people share, and you just never know the magnitude of what somebody is really dealing with. But for those that have been impacted by the school shootings, the young man that was just killed going to the wrong house, trying to pick up his sibling, just all of the different things that are going on. If you can't spread love to somebody, then that's really something going on that we need to correct. So I understand we're still doing life. There's things that's going to happen and all of that. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, if you have not, if you cannot say that you shared, love with somebody, you were compassionate, something like that, as part of your day, then you may want to take a look within, because no one is exempt. No one is exempt. No one is exempt. But we are afforded the ability to do our best with what we have while we are here and to share it with others. So another thing that I want to say about current news, because but it's like food, right? You're eating your food and then you ever ate something, you like, oh, I got to get something to drink, like it's not digesting well. Life is coming at us so fast that you don't even have time to digest what you just read 30 minutes ago before something else is happening. So just be mindful, lead with love as much as you can, and just extend compassion, even if you don't understand. So with that being said, a topic that I wanted to talk about this week is sisterhood. Sisterhood. And in reference to sisterhood, just starting off with the things that we hear: women don't like women. There's a competition thing between women. Then you have a group of women, you see them, you're like, oh, I wish I had friends like that. The support in that sisterhood, not necessarily just meaning your peers, but also having a connection with different generations. So generations younger than you, generations older than you. Sisterhood is a very, very, very extremely important for many reasons. And I actually shared some of these reasons. I'll share about one or two. But building bonds with other women can help us to foster a sense of community and belonging. It can be comforting to have a group of women to turn to for support and encouragement when needed. Such a beautiful thing. Like, even that sounded beautiful. As I mentioned, oftentimes we don't have what we need and we don't necessarily know how to get it. So if you're looking for sisterhood, community, that support, and you're like, well, how can I get that? How can I, who can I begin to build that with? And what does that look like? Is it weird saying, hey, you know, uh, I would like to, hang out and just get to know you better. You mentioned this. that you're interested in that, and that's something that, I have an interest in, and just building it and going from there. It requires us to come out of our shell, and I'm talking about myself, because to know me is to know, that introvert would be hitting real hard. And although my assignment, my God-given assignment, is for women, and being able to, different facets, but one component of that is allowing women to build bonds with one another, whether that's, directly through something that I do, or, just from them being familiar. But I too had to come out of my comfort zone and say, like, okay, let me be open. Let me say hi, and, oh, that's a cute outfit, or, whatever it may be. If y'all are friends on, social media, seeing, that, well, social media tell you half the time what you got in common with people and all of that. But just being able to come out of your comfort zone, and and to extend yourself, as well as to, you never know what you're going to get from that. And I'm just going to say this: I wasn't taught that. I have two older sisters, so, I grew up in that generation where, like, your siblings were your friends, right? And so, but everybody doesn't have that. It doesn't and it do not know what that experience is. But it does require you to come outside of your comfort zone. It does also not inquire. It also requires you to try different things as well. So let's just say you're, getting back into fitness, and you go to a gym, and you see there's different classes, and there maybe some ladies in there, that y'all may, bond in a class, and maybe looking at what that could be outside of that. But it does take effort. It takes effort. I mean, it takes also being intentional. And that's also something you can include in your prayer. Like, Lord, hook your girl up. I want some friends. I want some good friends. And if you are praying about that, be very clear with your prayer. Be very clear with your prayer. But it is a huge thing that is needed and necessary in our community. I don't like to see women tear one another down. Now, I know there's to there judging people is a fine line. When you're judging people in a way of just to be judgmental, hurtful, to come across as if you're better than, because in the Bible it does speak that we should judge one another, but you have to have the right context around that. And so, with that being said, it would be great if I just did all this. Give me 1 second. That was a cool little commercial, but we have to get out of the business of we're better than. And so let me just share this. When I was coming up, and more so in church, because that's where I got a lot of experience. In real life, it was, family and stuff like that. I remember, we just come as we are. Okay. We come as we are. And older woman, I'm a teenager. She's old enough to be, at that time, my mom, maybe like a young grandma too. And she was like, you need to wear a slip. And I looked back at her, I said, buy me one. Next Sunday, she had this cute little bag. I forgot all about the conversation, but she actually bought me slits. And to this day, that she actually turned into being my godmother. But I say that to say this, that when we're judging, or we make other people feel uncomfortable for thinking they know something that they do not, of not leading in love, it can impact how they feel, more so about themselves, as well as the environment that you may be in, as well as, oh, I originally was going to reach out to them, but because they said this, I felt like they was judging me, and now I'm not. And so it is a huge component that we, one, need to heal. We need to um, talk about more because, like I said, there's some women that have beautiful sisterhoods. Um, and to also be aware of jealousy when it comes to um, sisterhood. And that's going to segue me into jealousy. So, being jealous of people, um, I never was jealous of people to the point where it made me not like you, interact with you, support you, speak life to you. It was more so like if if they can do that, then I can do it. If they can get that, then I can get that. It almost became like a motor. It was a motivator for me. And so because of that, and I was not jealous with other people, I totally put out of my mind that people could be jealous. And so if you find yourself, if you find that it is hard for you to root for other people, it's hard for you to be like, yes, sis, you got that, sis. I'm proud of you. If it's hard for you to do that, I need you to look inward and figure out what's going on. Because what is that taking away from you supporting somebody else and showing being excited for somebody else, because we forget that it's going to be a time that you do something and you're going to want someone to root for you. So we want to be mindful of jealousy and also look at where it may come from. Like, why am I acting like this? And you may identify it could be something from your childhood. It could be um, the way that maybe you and your mother and or women that were very close to you interacted with one another. So it's something that you really do just want to take a look into, to ensure like there ain't no reason for me. Like that takes nothing from me. So for us to up our game and elevate in that way as well. So sisterhood, jealousy, and also in addition to that, we want to make sure, okay? We want to make sure that we are also giving ourselves credit. We can run off so many things that we do. I got to take care of this. I got to do that. When I get off work, I got the kids, I got this, I got school, I got extra, like whatever it is, all of these things that we have. And oftentimes we forget to take a moment just to sit, woosah it out, give yourself a pat on the back for what you are doing. And at the same time, make sure that you are not overdoing it, that you are not overdoing it. As I mentioned earlier, there's so many things that are going on. You could be okay one minute and not okay the next minute. So you want to make sure that you are not putting over exerting yourself when you don't need to. Learn how to delegate things. Learn how to receive help when people are asking you if you need help. Look at what you have on your plate. Are you being a busybody? Like, do you need to do everything on your plate? Do you need to do it in the to the extent that you are doing it? So you also want to look at that. So in addition to giving yourself credit, you want to make sure that you are not doing too much that it impacts you in a negative way. But sometimes you just got to pull away and be like, not today. Okay. Self-care day. Not today. We have to be able to put ourselves in these different positions to honor ourselves, to take care of ourselves. And y'all like, how is she talking about honoring and take care of ourselves? What we just talking about, sisterhood? Yes, this is where we talk about God, life, and all that other stuff. So it is very important for us to do that. And I also want want you to know that nobody has it all together. Because sometimes we get to the point like, oh, I don't want to say nothing because it looks like, if I want to ask them, but they seem too busy. I want to ask them, but it seems like they got everything together, so they may judge me. I want to ask them, but they may feel like, girl, you should know that. All of the stuff that we think of in our head. And this is my question to you. Does it matter what you think they're going to think more than you getting the help and or support, guidance, whatever it may be more? Like, which one is more? You getting what you need to help you, to help maintain you, to help give you some balance, or sitting with the fact of what someone may or may not do? We have to see beyond ourselves and be okay with asking. It's okay to ask. Nobody has it all together. Nobody just woke up and arrived, okay? Before you get somewhere, you have to prepare to get there, okay? Before you get to the store, you have to make up in your mind you're going to go to the store, figure out what store you're going to go to, what you're going to get from the store, how you going to get to the store. Then you have the journey to the store, and then you arrive. So now I want us to stop looking past the work that it takes. I want you to stop trying to think for people, what they may say, what they might do. If you need help or support, ask for help, support, guidance, ask for whatever you need that is going to help you. And that's within a sisterhood and outside of a sisterhood. Because like I said, everybody don't have that. So transforming our personal lives, as we have seen so many people do. A lot of the influencers are transforming their lives and giving honor and credit to God, which I got to correct to say Jesus, because sometimes when people are talking about God, I don't know what God you're talking about. But with that being said, you don't have to watch someone else transform their lives and say, oh, I wish I could. Oh, it must have taken a lot. You can do it too. You can do it too. And so I want to say this because I said that today I was going to talk about sisterhood, current events, and like some other stuff because, like I said, life has been lifing and it has been a lot going on. And so in my mind, I have so much that I want to say, but I want to make sure that how I feel it's coming across about how important it is for us to take care of us, for us to take care of our families, for us to make sure that we are happy in our lives, that we have joy, that we are not allowing moments in time to pass us by. It is time for us to position ourselves to get the things that we've been thinking about, right? The things that we've been setting goals for. It is time for us to go out here and get what is waiting for us. We got to get what's waiting for us. And I want us to stop thinking that, oh, I got to get it. Like it's certain things I have to do. Yeah, it's certain things you need to do to get it, but it has already been given. It has already been given. The way has already been made. We just have to do what's needed and necessary for us to get on that path and for us to see. And the reason why I say it's already made, one, God know our lives from the beginning, middle, and the end. So how our lives are going to turn out, he already made that way. We're just on the journey to getting there. So find some joy in the fact that it's already established. You just have to do your part to get there. You just have to do what's necessary to receive it. You have to do what's necessary to make it happen. Because with all of this stuff that's going on, let me just tell you, and especially depending on the type of person you are, like maybe if you're an empath, if you are, if you have anxiety, if you know you have these different things where now it's like, oh, it's so much going on in the world. What's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen. How am I going to be able to make it? Prices are going up, and all these different things. So you start to worry, you start to question, which starts to push yourself out of position. But you start doing all these things from a sincere place. You're just trying, you just want to know why. But we have to start taking a moment to stop, check in with ourselves, give ourselves credit for what we have accomplished, what we have achieved, what we have going on. Some of us don't even take joy in the process. Be happy with that. We know what the ultimate goal is. You're going to get it, girl. You're going to get it. We know. And we rooting for you. We know that's the ultimate goal. But while you are getting there, give yourself credit. Remind yourself that it's already been given. He showed it to me, so it's already been given. I can see it. That means I can make it happen. It's already been given to me. I have to do what's needed and necessary for me not to just get on the right path, but for me to stay on it. For me, when obstacles come, and even if there's a setback, I get back up and I go again. If something, comes out of left field and I was not expecting that, I gather myself. Okay. I pray, I figure out what I need to do to cause this thing to move, and I keep going. So when you're looking at people, lives change and they out here doing the thing and they're starting the businesses, they're being the great mom, they have the nice house, they're doing all these things. Don't count yourself out. Don't say, oh, it's just them and exclude yourself. No. No. So I want us to start considering ourselves. I want us to consider ourselves and look at where we're at in life. And yes, with everything that is going on, there is still purpose that needs to be fulfilled. There are still things that you need to do. So if you forgot about yourself, if you don't consider yourself enough, if you are speaking more negativity to yourself than speaking life and positivity, if you are not encouraging yourself, this is a reminder to get back to that. This is a reminder for you to not count yourself out. This is a reminder to say there is still time on the clock. There's still breath in my body. I can still make this happen. Those of you that have given yourself deadlines by a certain age, is that what God said? Did God say he was going to make it happen or give it to you by 30, 40, 50? What did God say? Because then when these things don't happen, we think, oh, the plan didn't work. It's just not right. So we have to remember to consider ourselves. So if you haven't realized, I'm in the segment of shy shares. I'm just having real conversation. Because unknowingly, you can start like, why do I feel stressed? Why is this going on? And especially if you're a person that you know how to handle stress and different things good, like you will miss the fact that you're carrying weight and feeling down and stuff because of just the environment that you're in, just the world that we live in, all the things that are going on. So I need us to remember to check in with ourselves and not put yourself down on your list like you're the first priority. Because if you ain't good, anything that you're supposed to be doing and anybody that is attached to you is not going to be good. So we are priority, number one priority. Okay. So for us to remember ourselves, for us to consider ourselves, for us to dream again, get back on that, the path to our goals and our desires. To not just look at other people and say, oh, it's meant for them and not me. Like, where they do that at? Who said you were excluded? Everybody has a path to walk. And I'll be very like I have conversations with people and it's like, I don't understand why they made it big. They're out here, lying and not being honest with people, but they're making the money, they're doing the things, and there's some people that's out here that's just doing it the right way. It is their season. God is blessing. They followed the plan because there's a lot of principles in the Bible. Okay. If you praying to God like he a genie, I'm gonna need you to stop that because there are certain principles and things that you have to follow and do too. But don't count yourself out. Don't don't count yourself out. Don't count yourself out. So don't give more effort, more insight, more I can't even think of the word that I want to say, but don't put people on a pedestal and have yourself here. Because at the end of the day, like, yes, you may know what you've done, what you have, what you don't have, but like, let's come up because it's never about what we see, it's about what we don't see. And we never really know what's going on in somebody else's life. And that ain't even that ain't even our business. But I just don't want us to miss out because I can't do it because there's no belief, because our faith is shaky, because we feel like we're not equipped, because it's been 5 years and it still hasn't happened. Some things is a process. And like I said, his timing, not our timing. Get back in alignment so you know what's going on, what's supposed to happen, all these different things. So that's what I encourage you to do, to remember yourself, to make you a priority, and to never, ever put anyone above you. Don't discount, don't count yourself out. Don't count yourself out. I look at people and like I said, it's a motivation, it's a drive, and some of it ain't because that ain't what I want to do anyway. You know what I mean? But it's a motivation, it's a drive, or I can be like, okay, sis got it going on. Like, let me leave a comment, let me tell her, if I know her, whatever it may be, because I'm focused on my yard. I'm focused on what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not counting myself out because it ain't popped yet. And then oftentimes it popped and we didn't even realize it because we think it's supposed to look a different way. So, sis, don't count yourself out. I have to keep saying it because that's what I feel. Like so much stuff is happening and going on. You can get caught up in it. You can feel like it's a race against time. And it really it's not a race against time. If you know what you're supposed to do, you're right where you're supposed to be. But don't get out of alignment with God's will for your life, trying to mimic and duplicate stuff that ain't even what you're supposed to be doing. But in the interim, never count yourself out. Never count yourself out. You got this. Like, you gonna make it happen. And I'm pretty sure that you have already achieved some things that you didn't even think you was going to achieve, but because life be lifing and we just got to keep moving, like we haven't even sat down and acknowledged that. And I had to tell myself that. So let me show you this. So, if you're not familiar with what I do, I'm a certified Christian life coach and I'm a mentor, and I've been doing that for years. But I was so focused on the women that I can see, like the women, that I already had connection with, and those that I was meeting, that I totally did not believe in my ability to make an impact outside of the state that I live in. And although that was a goal, I didn't even make it a priority because I was just so focused on what I can see and what I can be connected to. So I don't know how great you can see this, but It's a map of the US, and there's some states they're highlighted. So New York, North Dakota, North Carolina, Illinois, Colorado, Nevada, um, Louisiana, Arkansas, Florida, Nigeria, Ghana, London, over other cities in the United Kingdom. And this is just people that have told me. Like, I know this is where they're from. And so I had to mark this down, because although it was a goal that I had in mind, and but my belief was a little shaky. Okay, belief was a little shaky, and I pressed myself and I kept going, and so I was discounting my abilities because I couldn't see it. I didn't take time to slow down to look at what was going on, checking in with myself, everything that I'm saying here. And so when I did that, I was like, wow, I've made connection. I've made reach. And I'm also saying that to say, because sometimes the enemy will have you feel like what you're doing, like you just going in circles. It's not making an impact. It's not doing nothing. And all the while it's making impact. You're connecting with people that nobody else connected with. And that's why it's important to know the who, the what, and the why, like the purpose and what you're supposed to be doing, and why, and to be fulfilled, even if it's something small, because everything don't have to be deep. But even if I'm taking a moment and I'm going for a walk, I'm just taking time to myself. Let me be intentional with that. What do I want to focus on? We get so busy with things that we forget. And then we don't prioritize ourselves and all of the things. So I know I've said a lot, and it wasn't no particular order that I wanted to say it. I didn't even know what I was going to share. I shared that on my Instagram because it was just so much that I've been experiencing just living. Okay. Not even my stuff, just being in this world that was happening. And so I wanted to encourage, I wanted to give some examples. I wanted to speak from my personal experiences, and it it's possible. It's possible. What's possible? Whatever you see, whatever your dream and your goals are, it's possible. It's possible. It's possible. And as long as you can see it, that right there should be confirmation and comfort that it can happen. That it can happen. So I started this thing. I was talking about current events. It got kind of heavy, talking about, the people that passed and have been impacted by these horrible things going on in the world, as well as being happy and celebrating people who are transforming their lives and shifting into greatness, as I'm gonna call it, to reminding us to remember ourselves, to prioritize ourselves. It is imperative that we get in tune with ourselves, and that we stop making excuses. And for some, that's easier said than done, but it does not mean that it's impossible. Greatness awaits. Greatness is around us. Future and present. We have to take time to slow down, to connect, and that's all I have to share. I look forward to the month of May. I have interviews that are lined up, special co hosts that are going to come in to be able to have conversations. We're going to be talking about mental health. We're going to be talking about showing up as our authentic, beautiful selves and all of the other things. We are going to be talking entrepreneurship and faith because, child, ain't no entrepreneur if you ain't got no faith. And yes, I said it just like that. So continue to stay plugged in and follow me while I'm on this journey. What you're experiencing is me being obedient to God. I don't know what this is going to look like in the end, but I know it's going to be good. That's what I'm holding on to. So thank you for tuning in to Candid Conversations with Shy. Definitely, when you watch this on the replay, comment, comment, and share. And if you are watching it and you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Come on and join the family. Go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you next Tuesday. Conversation number 5, Candid Conversations with Shy. Y'all have a great one.